There we go.
Okay, you good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, for the record, give us your first name, your last name, and how to spell it.
Brandon Randall, Brandon Randall.
And then your role in the community?
The founder of True Colors Consulting. I'm a youth worker of over 20 years.
What did you think about the proposal that was just passed today?
I'm disappointed. When we talk about major decisions that our city leaders make, but they're not inviting the demographic that are directly impacted, that is unacceptable. We should have had community focus groups or listening sessions where young people were at the table. They are the holders of the knowledge of why young people are committing violence or delinquency, and they also have the solutions. And it has been reiterated to this body on multiple occasions that they need to listen to young people. And they, time after time again, intentionally do not. I think it's ironic that we're talking about Mental Health Month, and it was brought up for adults, but we're not listing young people in that conversation. And we're not talking about how trauma and the exposure to violence leads to additional violence. There's so much to be done, and it was not addressed tonight.
Well, one of the things they said is these are basically tools in a toolkit. So, for example, what does a 13-year-old business have been out at 1 o'clock in the morning unsupervised?
Right. So it is a tool, right? But the question is, why are we not balancing the tools and putting the same effort they put into curfews into collaboration? Because that has not happened. And the question of why a 13-year-old is out, the same question, why does a 13-year-old have an AR-15? That's a great question, but that young person should be at the table answering that question. I'm not a 13-year-old. I'm not answering for a 13-year-old. But we don't invite young people to these spaces, and we have to do better at that.
What do you think a curfew sends a message to young adults?
Honestly, I think that it's a Band-Aid approach. And to be honest, the ones violating curfew, it doesn't matter what the time is, they're not going to probably abide by that time either. It's about building relationships. It's about having funding for appropriate programs. And I know that the chief mentioned there are programs being worked with on the connection centers. That's great. But there are additional programs that understand you have to put in time, you have to put in the work. And I just don't think that was captured tonight.
I know you mentioned you don't want to speak for the affected demographic, but based on your work and your involvement in the community and with youth, is there any kind of insight that you've gained as to what could be a more substantial step in the direction of a solution in keeping them safe?
For sure, yeah. I mean, I think inviting young people. So before COVID, there was conversation on having a juvenile justice advisory council. The mayor of Chicago just created a youth-led peacekeepers movement and initiative. Indianapolis has to do that as well. We cannot keep operating on the same kind of responses where adults are leading these conversations. There is no intentional space outside of organizations for young people to share their thoughts. We need our city leaders to step up and do better at advocating for youth and collaborating with youth. And our elected officials do not do that in this city.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.